Welcome to the spiritual reflection today from Deborah's Tree. I'm Roslyn Taylor, and I'll be talking about the four angels that were bound up at the head of the river Euphrates. But before we get into that, I did bring some incense. It's used biblically and in meditation. I don't know if you can see it blowing in the breeze, but the smoke going up towards heaven, hopefully helping us to lift our thoughts and our feelings above whatever it is that's consuming us right now into a moment of meditation and reflection. A bit of background, Revelation chapter 9. There'd been 7 seals, and when the 7th seal was opened, the angels were bringing death and destruction. This is about the 6th angel after the opening of the 7th seal. And I'm going to read from Revelation chapter 9. Then the 6th angel blew his trumpet, and I heard a single voice coming from the horns on the golden altar before God, saying to the 6th angel, the one holding the trumpet, "Set free the 4 angels bound at the great river Euphrates." Then the 4 angels who had been prepared for this hour, day, month, and year were set free to kill a third of humanity. The rest of humanity, who had not been killed by these plagues, did not repent of the works of their hands, so that they did not stop worshipping the demons and idols made of gold, silver, bronze, stone, and wood, idols that cannot see or hear or walk about. They did not repent of their murders, of their magic spells, of their sexual immorality, or of their stealing. Now, many people today, when reading the visions in the book of Revelation, are concerned about the river Euphrates, about it drying up, and about this vision in Revelation 9 about the angels of the Euphrates releasing an army that destroys 1/3 of humankind. Many people see the events going on in the world today as prophecies being enacted in our world. Maybe both events are precursors in the book of Revelation to the final battle of Armageddon, which brings on the end of the world and the creation of the new heaven and the new earth. But my attention didn't go to that, but went to the angels being held back and prepared for the exact right time to do their part in the destruction of people who've gone astray by worshipping idols and by murdering and being sexually immoral and stealing. What I noticed was there was this sense of unleashing a great power, strengthened by being constrained. They'd been held back for years for the right time to do this destruction. Now, as a Swedenborgian Christian, I tend to look not at that literal meaning, but at the deeper spiritual meaning and seeing how that manifests in me and you and everyone. So in Swedenborgian theology, the Euphrates River is a symbol about how good it feels when we are being selfish and worldly. It's about the pleasure that we get from being selfish and worldly. And the 4 angels that were bound up and then who are released is talking about that time when we deep dive into the thinking that justifies our selfishness and worldliness. Thoughts like, I have to take care of myself and maybe my family and get the things that I want because no one else is going to do that for me. That's the kind of false thinking that we get pleasure from that can motivate us, what the 4 angels are about that are bound up. And they are bound up at times in our lives because we maybe have thoughts like that, but we're not letting them run our lives fully. But there might come a time when we do give selfishness and worldliness the opportunity to have power to run our lives. And so acting on those selfish motivations and thoughts does bring on a lot of destruction in our lives. We lose relationships, we lose peace of mind. We lose that feeling that overall we're a good person. And most importantly, we lose our alignment with the divine and with divine purposes. But according to the text, we have been prepared for the exact moment for that spiritual self-destruction to be released. The divine has protected us and held us back until we are actually spiritually ready to face this destruction and deal with it. In Swedenborgian theology, days and months and years don't actually refer to literal days, months, and years, but to states of mind, times in our mind, smaller increments like days or longer increments of time like years. Those selfish and worldly tendencies have actually been there all along, but they do get unleashed when we are spiritually ready to do battle with them. When we do let them rule our lives, that's when we risk losing sight of our altruistic motivations and healthy relationships with things in our lives, with things like our belongings and our money. We might choose to continue living this way, but eventually there is a time when there's a personal battle within, a spiritual battle within, a battle between holding on to our selfish ways and then perhaps allowing more evolved ways of living to emerge. And when we're successful in that battle, in choosing spiritual regeneration, then there's a chance to live in a new heaven and a new earth, with renewed relationship with the divine that heals our inner lives and our outer lives. To bring this to a close, I'd like to lift up a prayer from Isaiah 65 as a blessing for you today. I will create new heavens and a new earth. The former things will not be remembered. Be glad and rejoice forever in what I will create. The sound of weeping and crying will be heard in it no more.